A breaking update now to a story we first brought you at the top of the floor. An Army sergeant stationed at Fort Campbell is charged with selling national security information to China. Korbein Schultz faces 6 federal charges. Authorities say he, quote, traded national security information for cash.
This included documents and information related to advanced fighter aircraft, advanced military helicopters, intercontinental ballistic missiles, high mobility artillery rocket systems, defensive missile systems, and Chinese military tactics.
Nashville 10. The revelation that a U.S. Army soldier, Sgt.Korbein Schultz, has pleaded guilty to charges of selling sensitive military information to China has sent shockwaves through the defense and intelligence communities. This case is not just a criminal matter. It's a profound breach of national security that has exposed critical vulnerabilities within the U.S. military. The implications of this betrayal are far-reaching, impacting everything from military strategy to international relations. This script explores the detailed circumstances of Schultz's actions, the legal and security ramifications, and what this case means for the future of U.S. national security. Sgt.Korbein Schultz was a 24-year-old intelligence analyst stationed at Fort Campbell, a military base that straddles the Tennessee-Kentucky border. Schultz's role in the military was one of significant responsibility, given that he had access to top-secret information due to his security clearance. As an intelligence analyst, Schultz's daily tasks would have included analyzing, interpreting, and disseminating classified information that could be crucial to national security. His access to sensitive data made him a prime target for foreign intelligence operatives looking to infiltrate the U.S. military. The fact that Schultz turned to espionage raises several questions. Was it financial desperation, ideological alignment, or something else that drove him to betray his country? The details of his recruitment by a foreign national, known only as Conspirator A, point to a sophisticated and targeted approach by those seeking U.S. military secrets. Schultz's case exemplifies how individuals entrusted with national security responsibilities can become vulnerabilities themselves, particularly when influenced by external pressures or temptations. The indictment against Schultz reveals that his initial contact with Conspirator A occurred sometime in mid-2022. Conspirator A, who is described as a foreign national residing in Hong Kong, approached Schultz with a seemingly innocuous request for information related to lessons learned from Russia's war with Ukraine. This initial request was likely a test to gauge Schultz's willingness to cooperate and his ability to provide valuable information. In exchange for this information, Schultz was paid a mere $200, a sum that seems trivial in comparison to the gravity of the crime he was committing. However, this initial transaction was the beginning of a much more extensive operation. Conspirator A quickly recognized Schultz's potential as a source of high-value information and proposed a long-term partnership. The promise of more significant payments in exchange for increasingly sensitive material likely enticed Schultz to continue providing information. Over time, Schultz received a total of $42,000 for his cooperation, a sum that underscores the value placed on the information he was providing. The recruitment of Schultz highlights the sophisticated methods used by foreign intelligence operatives to infiltrate and compromise individuals within the U.S. military. The approach is often gradual, starting with seemingly minor requests and low payments, which then escalate as the relationship deepens. This strategy allows the foreign operative to build trust and secure a steady flow of classified information without raising immediate suspicions. The information that Schultz provided to Conspirator A was alarmingly comprehensive and covered a wide range of U.S. military capabilities. Among the compromised data were details about U.S. rocket, missile, and artillery systems, including the High Mobility Artillery Rocket System, 8 HIMARS. HIMARS is a critical asset in the U.S. military's arsenal, known for its precision and mobility on the battlefield. The leaked details could potentially allow adversaries to develop countermeasures, thereby diminishing the U.S. military's operational effectiveness in future conflicts. Schultz also provided information on hypersonic technology, a rapidly advancing field that represents the next frontier in military weaponry. Hypersonic missiles, capable of traveling at speeds greater than Mach 5, are extremely difficult to detect and intercept. The disclosure of U.S. advancements in this area could give China a significant strategic advantage, allowing them to develop their own hypersonic capabilities or devise countermeasures to U.S. systems. In addition to weapon systems, Schultz handed over details about U.S. military tactics for countering drone threats. Drones have become a central component of modern warfare, used extensively for surveillance, targeting, and even direct attacks. The compromised information could allow adversaries to anticipate and counter U.S. drone tactics, potentially neutralizing one of the U.S. military's key strategic advantages. Schultz's betrayal also included sensitive data on U.S. military satellites. These satellites are integral to everything from communication and navigation to surveillance and reconnaissance. The disclosure of their capabilities and vulnerabilities could have catastrophic consequences, enabling adversaries to disrupt or disable these critical assets during a conflict. Further, Schultz provided studies on future developments of U.S. military forces and analyses of military drills and operations in major countries, including China. This type of information could give China critical insights into U.S. military strategies, allowing them to preemptively develop counter-strategies or exploit perceived weaknesses. The Schultz case is not an isolated incident. Rather, it is a symptom of broader vulnerabilities within the U.S. military and intelligence apparatus. The fact that a single individual with a top-secret security clearance could compromise so much sensitive information indicates significant weaknesses in the oversight and monitoring of personnel with access to classified data. This case has prompted a comprehensive review of security protocols, particularly concerning how individuals are vetted, monitored, and handled once they have access to top-secret information. One of the most concerning aspects of this case is the potential long-term impact on U.S. military operations and international relations. The compromised information could be used by China to enhance their military capabilities or develop strategies to counter U.S. operations. This could shift the balance of power in critical regions such as the South China Sea, or in the event of a conflict over Taiwan, where U.S. military dominance has traditionally served as a deterrent against Chinese aggression. Moreover, the Schultz case could have a chilling effect on international cooperation, particularly among U.S. allies who may now question the security of shared information. If the U.S. military's own personnel can be compromised, what assurances can be given to allies that their sensitive data will be protected? This case underscores the need for greater collaboration and information sharing among allies to detect and prevent espionage activities before they cause irreparable harm. Sergeant Schultz's guilty plea to charges of conspiracy to obtain and disclose military defense information and bribery of a public official represents a significant legal milestone. The charges against Schultz carry severe penalties, reflecting the gravity of his crimes. The legal proceedings have been closely watched by both military and civilian legal experts, as they will set important precedents for how similar cases are handled in the future. From an ethical standpoint, Schultz's actions represent a profound betrayal of trust, not only the trust placed in him by the U.S. military, but also the trust of his fellow citizens, who rely on the military to protect national security. The ethical implications of this case extend beyond Schultz himself, prompting broader discussions about the responsibilities and moral obligations of those who are entrusted with classified information. The sentencing phase of the trial, scheduled for January 23, 2025, will be crucial in determining the legal consequences for Schultz. It will also send a message to others who might be tempted to betray their country for financial gain. The severity of Schultz's sentence will likely be intended to deter future acts of espionage and to reinforce the importance of safeguarding national security. In response to Schultz's guilty plea, military officials, including Brigadier General Rhett R. Cox, commanding general of the Army Counterintelligence Command, have issued stern warnings about the consequences of compromising classified information. General Cox's statement emphasized the need for all military personnel to report any requests for sensitive information to the appropriate authorities within 24 hours. This directive is a clear reminder of the protocols in place to protect national security and the expectation that all personnel adhere to these guidelines. The Schultz case has also prompted a broader review of security practices within the U.S. military. This includes reevaluating the vetting processes for individuals who are granted security clearances, as well as enhancing the monitoring of those who have access to classified information. The military is likely to implement additional safeguards to prevent similar breaches in the future, such as more frequent background checks, increased surveillance of communications, and stricter controls on the dissemination of classified materials. The U.S. government has also taken steps to address the potential damage caused by Schultz's actions. Intelligence agencies are conducting a thorough assessment of the compromised information to determine the extent of the damage and to develop countermeasures where possible. This includes reevaluating military strategies and operations that may have been compromised, as well as working with allies to mitigate the impact of the breach. The Schultz case highlights the growing role of technology in espionage activities. The rapid advancement of digital communication tools has made it easier for foreign operatives to recruit and manage assets within the U.S. military. Conspirator A's ability to contact and coordinate with Schultz from Hong Kong is indicative of how technology is being leveraged to facilitate espionage across borders. Moreover, the digital nature of the information Schultz provided makes it more difficult to trace and contain. Once classified information is digitized and transmitted, it can be easily duplicated, shared, and stored in multiple locations, making it nearly impossible to fully contain the breach. This underscores the need for robust cybersecurity measures within the military and intelligence agencies to prevent unauthorized access and transmission of classified information. The role of social media and other online platforms in recruitment and espionage is also a growing concern. These platforms can be used by foreign operatives to identify and target individuals who may be susceptible to recruitment, either due to financial pressures, ideological leanings, or personal grievances. The Schultz case may prompt a closer examination of how social media and other digital tools are being used to facilitate espionage and what measures can be implemented to counter these activities. The Schultz case is likely to have significant repercussions for U.S. China relations, which have already been strained by issues such as trade disputes, territorial conflicts in the South China Sea, and concerns over human rights violations. The revelation that a U.S. soldier sold military secrets to China could further escalate tensions between the two nations, potentially leading to a deterioration in diplomatic relations. China's alleged involvement in the recruitment and exploitation of Schultz will likely be viewed as a direct threat to U.S. national security, prompting a stronger stance from the U.S. government. This could include increased sanctions against Chinese entities involved in espionage activities, as well as a more aggressive posture in areas of military and economic competition. The Schultz case also raises concerns about the broader issue of Chinese espionage against the U.S. and its allies. Over the past decade, there have been numerous instances of Chinese operatives targeting U.S. military and intelligence personnel, as well as private sector companies involved in defense and technology. The Schultz case is part of a larger pattern of espionage activities that have targeted critical sectors of the U.S. economy and military, underscoring the need for a coordinated response from the U.S. and its allies. The Schultz case provides several important lessons for the U.S. military, intelligence agencies, and policymakers. First and foremost, it underscores the need for constant vigilance in protecting classified information. This includes not only securing digital systems, but also ensuring that individuals with access to sensitive data are thoroughly vetted and closely monitored. The case also highlights the importance of international cooperation in combating espionage. Given the global nature of espionage activities, it is essential that the U.S. works closely with its allies to share information, coordinate responses, and develop joint strategies to counter the threat posed by foreign intelligence operations. Additionally, the Schultz case serves as a reminder of the human element in national security. While technology and cybersecurity measures are critical, they cannot replace the need for personal integrity and ethical conduct among those entrusted with classified information. The military and intelligence agencies must continue to emphasize the importance of these values and provide the necessary support and resources to help personnel resist the temptations and pressures that can lead to breaches of security. The case of Sgt.Korbein Schultz represents a significant breach of U.S. national security, highlighting the severe consequences of compromising classified information. Schultz's guilty plea to charges of selling sensitive military information to China underscores the critical importance of protecting classified data and maintaining rigorous security measures. As the legal proceedings continue and Schultz awaits sentencing, the military and intelligence communities must address the lessons learned from this breach to enhance security protocols and prevent future incidents. The Schultz case serves as a reminder of the need for constant vigilance and robust measures to safeguard national security interests. The impact of this breach extends beyond the immediate legal consequences, prompting a reevaluation of security practices and protocols to protect sensitive information. The outcome of Schultz's sentencing and the subsequent response from the military will be closely observed, as they will provide insights into how the U.S. addresses and mitigates threats to national security. In the broader context of U.S. China relations, The Schultz case is a stark reminder of the ongoing competition between the two superpowers, particularly in the realm of military and technological superiority. As the U.S. continues to navigate this complex and often contentious relationship, cases like Schultz's will serve as critical reference points for understanding the nature of the threat posed by foreign espionage and the measures necessary to counter it. Ultimately, the Schultz case is a sobering reminder of the challenges that lie ahead in the realm of national security. As technology continues to evolve and the global landscape becomes increasingly interconnected, the threats to U.S. security will become more complex and difficult to manage. The lessons learned from the Schultz case will be valuable in shaping future strategies and policies to better protect the nation's most critical assets. Thank you for watching the video. Hope you all liked it. Feel free to share your thoughts in comment section. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you will never miss any episode of our enthralling series.